Well, that's a great story because I wanted to ask you about Paul Schrader for one. But the only reason I have Paul Schrader's portrait is I went to his film seminar at UICA. UICA brought him in to do a talk. They screened his film.
Yeah, I moderated it.
You moderated it and did a Q&A.
But that's something you're like, hey, Paul, could I just get you for 10 minutes?
I literally went up to him and I walked up to him at a 10-minute break during. He did a script writing seminar.
Yep.
That I paid and went to because I was interested in script writing and also to be in the same room with Paul Schrader, who's from Grand Rapids. One of the greatest screenwriters and directors in cinema history.
Yep.
So I just wanted to be next to some of that mojo, and I didn't know what it would feel like, and I didn't know what he was like. But there was a moment in a break. They took like a 10 or 15 minute break, get a restroom break, go grab a drink, water or coffee. Mm-hmm. And he just went to the back of the room near where I was, and no one went up and talked to him. And I went up to him and I said, "Hi, Mr. Schrader, I'm a photographer in town. I love your career, that you're from Grand Rapids. Can I take your portrait? It'll promise you it'll only take you 10 minutes.
But that moment, or you set it up later that night?
Set it up later. It's all a big story. It was a huge scramble. And this brings us back to our other conversation about earlier about being in Grand Rapids.
Yeah.
He said, I'll do a portrait, but it cannot take more than 10 minutes. And I said, I'll have you out in 5 if it's necessary.
Because you could be anybody, just some schlub with a razor phone who's going to just...
Right. And I think I had my phone.
Why
and
did he trust you?
You know, a lot of people, you show people something on your phone, and you don't even know if they can see it because they might need glasses, right? And I just went up to Paul Schrader and I said, I'm a photographer in town. Here's a couple examples of my work. I'm from Grand Rapids. I would love to honor you with a portrait of you in your hometown. Yeah. And I know that you're staying at the Amway Grand Plaza Hotel. And if I get everything set up and I'm pre-lit and everything, you just have to come in and hit a mark for 5 minutes. I guarantee you'll be out in 5 minutes. And he said, okay, I'll do it. And then I said, so how do I get a hold of you? And this is my favorite part of the story. I said, so how do I get a hold? And he interrupted me, and he's like, 917. He just started, like, rattling off his cell phone number. I'm like, oh, am I texting you? Like, I was just taking a note in my phone. Like, like I just had to get something down. Do I email you, or how do I tell you when I'm ready?
He's kind of a rascal. I mean, you got to keep up with that guy.
He's kind of a cranky dude, and I liked that about him. And I knew that, and that was, like, part of the intimidation of, like, should I go up to him and ask him for a portrait? Like, I'm asking Raging Bull and Taxi Driver. It's crazy. So anyway, then I said, I'll find a location in the Amway Grand. And what's your window? And he says, I have a window. I have to do a conference call, and then I have some time between like 3 and 3:30. Mm-hmm. And I said, okay, I'll be ready at 3 o'clock, ready to go. I'll text you the location in the Amway Grand. And I had about an hour and a half to pull the shoot together. I had one assistant that I could get a hold of. I had my gear in my truck. Mm-hmm. I had to call the Amway Grand. I called the Chad LaRue, who runs the marketing department. I said, Chad, I can shoot Paul Schrader. You know who he is? He said, yeah, I know who he is. Like, can I use your Lumber Baron bar? Because it's closed and they don't open until 5. Yeah. He's like, sure.
Oh, cool.
I rolled my card in past security. I was like, got set up at like 2:45. I texted him the location. He never replied, and I said I'll be ready at 3 o'clock. Yeah. And it got to be like 2:58, and I was like looking around, and he never replied to any of my texts. Right. I was like, I don't even know if this is gonna go down.
It's a cool move.
And sure enough, at 3 o'clock on the dot, Paul Schrader strolled into that empty bar. And we just did a shoot. And then he gave me like 10 or 15 minutes. We ended up chatting a little bit, but I let him go.
Has he seen the photos?
Yeah, he loved them. He posted one on Facebook.
Oh, great.
Right after I retouched it and put it
out.
Yeah,
I wondered that with some guys or people that, I mean, do you do a lot like that aren't, you're hired, you just really want to shoot them?
I'll shoot if I want to shoot somebody. It costs me money. I'll pay an assistant. I'll pay a makeup artist. If it's
Why? That's your art? Like a
portrait of somebody that there's a selfish reason. The first is I think it's amazing to put somebody in a frame that is somewhat well known within whatever genre they're known in.
Yeah.
Like that helps me because as a career, because even like you're like, how do you get so and so?
Yeah.
I try not to pay for those things. I love to get paid for them, but it helps me on the other side. People, I mean, I do shoot a lot of high-profile people for a living, but at the same time, it helps me shoot other projects, and they just think I'm the guy that does this stuff. So there's a little bit of a polish to maybe hiring me for a job versus somebody else. But my point is, it's first an art, and it's more of an honoring that person.